maybe I'm a bit sensitive about things like nuclear bombs and nuclear war. Maybe after being in the world for a long time and having lived through the Cold War and the threat of all that annihilation by nuclear war. MAD was it called? Mutually assured destruction. Now, we're faced with the fact that a bloke with dementia, Joe Biden, may be in the White House. Why is it? How can't they put someone, one of these woke people, all these woke people, who've had their brains cancelled? Woke is cancelled. Cancel culture is cancel your sovereign identity. Cancel your sovereign individuality. Cancel your soul. Cancel your mind. Just cancel yourself out and obey Hillary Clinton. Yes, you just obey Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, whatever name are. Just obey them and everything's going to be perfect. They're going to put a bloke, and I'm not knocking Joe Biden, I feel sorry for him. He's 77 years old. He's obviously suffering from extreme anxiety when he gets in front of the podium. He starts talking, he forgets his words. And I put that down as much to extreme anxiety to anything else, because if the Dems, the point about it is, if the Dems, if that's the best they can do, I don't want people, I'm not into American politics so much, but it is interesting. I don't know how many politicians there are in America, how many Dems and Republicans. As a technicality, I don't really care about. I just know that there's over 300 million people in America, some really, really clever ones, and we've got some very astonishingly clever people. And yet, the best the Dems can do is get some old bloke who can't hardly remember his lines, who hides in a cellar, and he's then going to be in the White House with his able to have command of the world's largest nuclear arsenal. If this doesn't concern anyone, maybe the whole nihilists are looking forward to, oh good, let's have a good old, and maybe America will nuke itself the way it's going. I mean, maybe when Biden gets in and it all kicks off because of Black Lives Matter, don't know what they're fighting for, the annihilation of the means to make money, the annihilation of the means to improve their life, just destroy everything, that'll improve your life. Just make everything like Baltimore. That's bound to make your life a lot better quality of life in Baltimore than some place where it's all civilized and there's no crime. I don't know, in a lot of places there's a lot of crime in the world and a lot of poverty seems to go along with a lot of crime. But that's the thing that Dems are involved with and associated with is extreme poverty, extreme criminal activity, violence and arson. That's what do we think when we think of Joe Biden? Arson, violence, murder, trashing the country, destroying towns. We don't think of Joe Biden as this shining hope. And I'm not knocking I don't know Joe Biden. I'm not knocking him. I feel deeply sorry for him because we're supposed to have compassion for other humans, and he's a 77-year-old bloke, and and obviously having a real serious problem. And the fact is, it's very, very cruel. Hillary Clinton, her husband, and all these other goody-goody two-shoes, the perfect people in the world, most perfect humans ever got together, in the Dems, have put this old bloke up, and they're using him and abusing an old man. Oh, you want to be president, Joe Biden? Yeah, good. I can tell my kids I was president or whatever. Yeah, but it's a dirty, filthy trick on him. It's cruel. It's a dirty, filthy trick on the American people. It's nasty. And they're going to have someone who's manipulated in charge of the nuclear weapons. And I think that's something that is not being mentioned in this battle, what's going on in America. But there's something else that's not being mentioned either, is the NBA, it's called the the basketball, or whatever it's called, I don't know, I'm not familiar with all that sporting stuff, but nonetheless they're having all these strikes about the Black Lives Matter marches and stuff like that. But the point about that is, and what the Dems aren't telling the black people in this council, what they're not telling the black people is this: by destroying the NBA, I'm sorry if I've got that wrong, basketball or other sports by destroying those, by destroying the audience, by getting rid of the audience, putting the audience off, by this bringing politics into sport, by bringing politics and racial politics into sport. They're destroying that sport, so they will, when it goes broke, then there is no incentive for black people. It will reduce the incentive to black people to get in sport and improve themselves and become rich. And I want to know the black American sports people are really, really rich. They have fancy cars and big houses and they're very attractive men. And it's because they're black that is why they're successful at sport. Being black has given them an advantage. They have the same mental capacity as the rest of us. That's a given. But they've got a physical capacity which is better than white people. They've got a black advantage, black superiority. In sport, in boxing and all sorts of fields, in sport they dominate wherever they go. So how can they say it's because we're black and we're suffering when we're millionaires playing sport, and when it's because they're black that they're successful? I don't know if any of those people will listen to this or watch this, but I think that's a very important thing to get through somehow, that it's something wrong here where the messages are given and they're mistaken for what they really mean. They're destroying the NBA. By destroying that, destroy the incentive for black people to go and improve their lives. So therefore, the whole thing about them is to destroy the lives of black people by doing away with incentive and then associating black people. You now associate black people with what? Destruction of cities. Well, then that's just unfair. That's unfair. That's totally anomalous, because most black people must be law-abiding like white people. They've got kids and whatever. They don't want all that destruction. So Americans should be very, very careful what they wish for. And Joe Biden, if he was an honest man, would say, I can't do this anymore. I can't go. I want to retire and be honest and retire honest. I want to walk out of this. And that's what you ought to have had any integrity or love of America or love of black people or love of humans. You'd say, no, I can't do this. It's that simple. There you are. There's not much anyone can say any more than that, can they?